What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. So, surprise, surprise, former Kotaku and IGN editor calling for video game developers and publishers to condemn us, gamers, or anyone who would speak out against modern woke agenda. And you know what it is, modern 2024 identity politics, LGBTIQIA, two-spirit plus agenda, all the fun things. They boil it down to, oh, we don't like gay people or black women or anyone that's different than us. That's not what it is. Really, what we're criticizing is the methods and how they go about getting their diversity or their DEI. And I figure, hey, let's go to the source of it and just go to the actual article itself. The disturbing online misogyny of Gamergate has returned, if it ever went away. And to their credit, Gamergate didn't go away. That's why they're calling it Gamergate 2. It's the original Gamergate. And that is, of course, the collusion between gaming journalists, game developers, and what narratives are or are not propagated. So here we go. A few months ago, I wrote about a consultant agency, Sweet Baby Inc., and we know about them all too well, that found itself the center of a conspiracy theory of aggrieved gamers on a Steam forum had erroneously concluded that this small agency was somehow mandating the inclusion of more diverse characters in games. Depressingly but unsurprisingly, the result was a tremendous amount of targeted harassment towards the people who work at Sweet Baby Inc. and every journalist who reported on it, particularly the women. It was a disturbing echo of Gamergate, an online harassment campaign 10 years ago that initially sprung from the wild accusations of a game developer's vindictive ex-boyfriend. Now, Zoe Quinn was fucking a bunch of dudes in the gaming industry, one of which unalived himself. The sister used that money to start Baby Ghosts, which went on to then fund many Sweet Baby Inc. things. So funny how that all worked out. And I will shout out to That Park Place for pointing out that the only harassment in regards to Sweet Baby Inc. was coming from Sweet Baby Inc. And that was Chris Kindred and their ilk against Brutus Rambo for simply making a curation list. And all it did was show the games that were associated with Sweet Baby Inc. And as I said then, and I'll say now, if you were so proud of your work at Sweet Baby Inc. or any of these consultancy companies, why would you want, or not want rather, for people to see your connection to it? But back to this right here, the language has changed just a bit in the past decade. They used to be upset about the SJWs or social justice warriors. We still are, and I still call them SJWs. And now but the SJWs just spray painted Stonehenge. If you've seen that, made my blood boil. Bring back public crucifixions. That's all I'm saying in Minecraft, or maybe not in reality. Social justice warriors. So yeah, no, that's still a thing. But now apparently she thinks we've taken issue with a different acronym, DEI, diversity, equality. It's equity, normie, get it right. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And yes, that is something we take. And again, not the things on their own. Nothing wrong with diversity, equity, and inclusion on their own. But when you string them together like that and you forcibly implement it, it turns out to be pretty illegal and prejudiced. And as we all do call it, good old woke. Because what's easier for me to say? Woke or modern politics, intersectional third wave feminism with cultural Marxism, LGBTQIA agenda, identity politics. You see, it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but woke does. Even if they try to pull the original woke of being aware of social struggle and social prejudices, well, now that would mean pointing out all the DEI and actual bigotry, which is not coming from our side. Anyway. But the sentiment from this group is the same. Games are for us and for us only. We've never said that. And if you want games to change or to tell stories outside the straightforward male-oriented power fantasies that we grew up with, then, well, that's not allowed. We won't stand for it. In fact, we will try to aggressively harass you out of this space entirely. No one's ever said that. No one cares. There's been plenty of examples. We've done it a billion times of strong female protagonists of all melanation colors, blah, 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 and sexualities, blah, 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 blah. Again, it's not the what, it's the how. It's the who. It's the race and gender swapping of established characters. It's the gaying of established straight characters. It's the blunt hammer that they use their woke ideology that we are criticizing, not the fact that it's Black people or women or gay people. Shockingly, and this is what upsets them the most, we don't give a shit about that. We don't give a shit about that, which is why when we talk about all of our favorite games and movies and TV shows and comics, you'd be surprised how diverse it actually is. Well, we wouldn't. We're the ones that watched it, but you'd be surprised. They've never seen Blank Man. They never watched Parenthood or Family Matters or Sister or Hanging with Mr. Cooper or Living Single or In Living Color or Jamie Foxx show. Or Moesha. Fuck out of here, amateurs. Unfortunately, the anti-woke campaigning has not let up much in the intervening months, led by a coterie of the usual grifters. I have taken issue with, in no particular, and by the way, they mean the bad version of grifters instead of the good one. Taking advantage of the algorithms, not grifting. Saying shit you don't believe in, that's grifting. The literal God, yeah, no. What we were pointing out was the hypocrisy that they can thirst over the characters in Hades 2. I'm gonna start skipping over now because it's getting cancer from reading her actual words. The female characters and all that, yeah, some were actually thirsting over it, and then we were pointing out their hypocrisy. So when Stellar Blade, if we point out Eve had sexual bodies and you called us all thirsty and all said all your touch grass comments, but for Hades too, and the Alyssa Mercantes, oh, they're thirsting all over them. Here you see she moves on to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yeah, I remember this. This is where said that Elon Musk emotionally broke him. This is so funny. Yeah, this is a Cope article trying to say how it's us is the problem. But it's not. It's not. And I think she goes on to say, like, oh, what have they gotten? What did they hear? Let's see. So there's Eve, the reactionary underlayer of gaming's enthusiast media, which makes its home mostly on X and YouTube, does not actually have the slightest impact on how games are made. We certainly have an impact on how they sell. And if you want to look at that, look no further than some of the last games and results. Look at that. Look at the Helldivers. Look how quickly that got turned around. Look at Gamergate, what did it actually achieve? What did it actually achieve? Well, no one trusts gaming journalists anymore. All of these sites have become a farce and a joke. And when we talk about Kotaku, it's normally to own on you. And we talk about Ubisoft, it's normally to reference how they say, get used to not owning your games. So, oh, here we go. Here, because it always goes back to the white men. I saw more non-white male faces and characters in this year's again. The gaslight that what we're upset about is less white people in video games. No one gives a shit about that. That's not what we're talking about. Not what we're talking about. We're not talking about Miles Morales being a Spider-Man. We're talking about Miles Morales replacing Peter Parker Spider-Man. We're not talking about Rey being a Force user and being introduced. We're talking about her replacing Luke Skywalker and calling her. So you see a common theme that it's not exactly what they're doing, it's how they're doing that we have the huge fucking problems with. It's exhausting. Yeah, I think I got enough of this one. You get the idea. Every single thing that they're gonna call on us is a gaslight. It's a revisionist history. It's a look. It's a on purpose misinterpretation of what we're saying. You know, it's the if I say I don't like chocolate ice cream because I'm allergic, which is not true. I love chocolate ice cream. But if they say I can't eat chocolate ice cream because I'm allergic to that or chocolate, then obviously the reason I don't like that is because I hate ice cream because of chocolate. It reminds me of black people and I've internalized in racism. It's just the worst interpretation of everything we say. If we say we're tired of these badly done girl bosses, it doesn't mean we don't like strong female characters. It means what we said, that we're tired of these badly done girl bosses. And if we say that we're tired of DEI and agenda and trans bullet skins or all the other ludicrous shit that we added and pride flags and everything in a video game instead of just a good gameplay with well-written characters, and if some of those characters are black, gay, and lesbian, non-binary, I don't really care what they are if it's a character that you make me care about. And that's the rub. They don't really have the ability to make those characters or make us care about them. And they certainly don't have the ability to make us care about only their superficial attributes, which is what they care about. The superficial strong. Yeah, it's about power. We don't care about that. That's what upsets them the most. Oh, anyway, let me know what you think of this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.